I am ever in a public area, a movie theater, a restaurant, and some sick so-and-so sachets into the bathroom behind this little girl, I am going to self-identify as a cage-fighting lesbian and go in there and keep them company. I'm going to set his head up the bathroom like a hoop right out of there. There are worse things than jail, you know. I'm not going to let it happen. I won't stand for it. And I don't mind doing a night in jail for sticking up for a little girl. All right. Yeah, I just might need it. I'll let you know when it happens, and it's going to happen. If someone does that in front of me, I'm telling you now, that's another thing I'm saying no to. You can pass laws if you want, but enforcing them is another thing.
Come on.
Holy mackerel. All right, I got to say my piece about that. Our next speaker, I knew when we were planning the Second Amendment rally, I absolutely had to at least try to get the Finicum family out here. We've all seen what happened, all right, in Bundy and Oregon and what's going on out in the Midwest. One of the speakers that couldn't make it today was Hal Shurtleff. He and I used to do a thing called a Hal and Dave show, where we tramped around the 13 original colonies. We literally speaking all over in the Northeast.
Agenda 21.
Warning people about Agenda 21.
Yeah.
Agenda 2030 now, they've changed the language to protect the guilty. But there's land grabs going on all over. You see it out in their neck of the woods. You see the property owners own thousands of acres, so when they crush a rancher, they take thousands of acres. That includes the water resources, the mineral resources, and if you look closely at what's going on out there, Harry Reid and those other scumbags, they're not out there trying to protect any little crickets and little ferns and whatnot. They're out there for the resources.
That's right. That's right.
Darn right, don't you lie to us.
That's right.
Well, the same thing that's happening, they got the BLM out there. We've got a similar thing here. Here it's a different story because they've already squashed many of the farms. You try and find a local supply of food near your home. You're hard pressed. You won't find one in walking distance, most of you. Well, they do it differently. They use land trusts and all kinds of flowery little preservation agencies around here. Regional planning commissions. I mean, folks, what do you have when you've got an unelected bureaucracy, kind of a pyramid-shaped bureaucracy, where these people are out of reach of the voters? You look at your director of the Regional Planning Commission, and you'll never vote him out. He's a permanent fixture there. And they come up with these open space plans and master plans. Where have we heard about master plans before?
Agenda 21.
Oh, and then some. Now here they are telling your community, we know how best you should live your life. You can't get rid of them. But I'm telling you, remember your history, folks. It's not going to be in anything Common Core compliant, I promise you. Is when you have an unelected bureaucracy with an apex council at the top, like the American Planning Association, you have a Soviet system.
That's right.
Do you understand? They call it all kinds of things, but it's a Soviet system. That's what's working. That's what's rooted in your town. What we need to do is what New Hampshire did. They fought back and they're trying to ban regional planning commissions.
Yes.
These little socialist stinkholes need to go. Well, there's 101 ways for these creatures to dupe you out of your land and regulate you out of control, and in exchange you get to pay the taxes on it. Think about your view shed. They want to preserve this mountain. You know, it's a beautiful scenic area. So they wipe out the development rights. They protect it in a preservation, an act of preservation, and they remove the development rights. Real easy to get the people down here around it to say, oh yeah, that's a great idea, fantastic. We can stop that guy from building houses on that mountain so I can look at it. Well, guess what? Up here you've got your protected area, and then you got your little view shed down here. How many of you have heard of a view tax? Yeah. Well, when they take the development rights up here, the very people that voted their rights out of existence are now paying a view tax. Shooting themselves right in the foot. Oh, but they sugarcoat this stuff and they come into your town halls and they slip them through nice and quick. Little meetings, sometimes 2, 3, 4 people. I went to one in Northampton. It was supposed to be a review of a massive new rewrite of the plan for 43 towns. 43! I was one of 5 people that showed up. There were 2 from Northampton and 2 from Amherst.
Wow.
And guess where that one went? Yeah, they couldn't get people off their dead asses to go in and review the plan that was going to dictate what they could and couldn't do on their property for years to come. So those of you that sat there, you got the government you deserved. I'm not going to sit here and be nice and flowery to all you folks because we got what we deserved in a lot of cases. So if you're not prepared, like I said, to shake hands with the people next to you, go to these tables and be signing up, talking to these folks and networking and getting together to something that's actionable. Common Core is not going to leave here and go home and play on Facebook. They're all over town today. These gun right groups, Kirk Watley, we got to be hooking up with him. Your memberships at this club know when and where the trainings are. Get involved, please. The Finicums, I had to get the Finicums out here. I'm so grateful that they got back to me and accepted my invitation, because their story is one that needs to be told. We've heard the official version, but you know, you saw the video clips too, didn't you?
Yes.
All right, this is what I saw. I saw a vehicle full of people on their way to talk with their sheriff.
Yep.
And then they drove into what can only be described as a kill stop, a military-styled ambush.
That's right.
I watched a man get out of the car with his hands up and get shot in the side. When he reached for his side, they shot him in the back.
That's right.
The feds killed, they murdered a man in cold blood with his hands in the air. An American patriot. What were they doing that was so wrong? They were peaceably assembled. They may have occupied a building, but they were peaceably assembled. It was a building they paid for with their own damn taxes.
That's right. That's right.
America was still sitting on their hands. One of your own's been killed, and you haven't done enough yet. I'm telling you, you haven't. When we sit there and watch our neighbor take a hit like that, and we just go, ooh, thank God it wasn't me. They can't take a right from someone else without you losing yours. I promise you that. So when they stack up on your neighbor's door, don't pull your shades. Get your cameras and get out there. Don't let them do that to your neighbors. Because it's coming back on you. Well, I'm going to... Boy, my blood pressure is going to go through the roof if I keep going here, so I'm just going to finish my introduction here. Both Jeanette Finicum and Tara Tenney, her eldest daughter, are here to talk to us today. I hope you spend some time talking with them over at the table. They're going to have to leave shortly after the presentation, so I highly recommend that you go over to the table. Please, every person here standing on this ground, please tell me, promise me you're going to sign that petition. All right? Please. All right, we've got a book over there that the boy wrote. So we get to hear from the man himself. Please consider buying that book. We need to educate ourselves and see what they're doing to our neighbors around this country. So without further ado, I'd really like to ask you to give a big round of applause for Tara Tenney.
Love you.
I'm starting my stopwatch here. I'm going to quote Chrisanne Hall. Good afternoon, liberty-loving people. Okay, let's see. My awesome tool is not working. Hold on.
January.